All right, friends, we're talking about function tables today when I get my camera right. There it is. Okay. So a function, right here. A function has one output value for every input value. Give you a second to write that down. Get that out of the way. Sorry. There we go. So one output for every input. So for every one y for every x, essentially, because we're going to get into graphing. Okay? Now, a function rule, so I'm going to write small. A function rule is the expression, the input value is plugged into to get the output. Essentially, it is the relationship between the two values. I'll give you a second to write that down. Moving on to function table. So a function table is a table used to organize the input, function rule, and we'll get into function rules. Function rule and output. Okay, so the table organizes the input, the function rule, and the output. Let's write that down. The independent value, or the independent variable, is, so the independent variable is the input value, okay? It's your input. It's like x and y, it's your x. And it can be any value. Right? Give me a second. Let me take my bite of this. The dependent variable is the output. It's your output value, okay? It is dependent on the input value. Okay. So get that written down. Okay. So we're going to talk about this table. Okay, it's a function table. And we're going to draw lines of our vocabulary to the parts that are circled that represent. Okay. So we get to identify the input, the function rule, the output, and then the entire thing. Or maybe I just gave it away. But, so my function, well, let's do something we start with we do know, because some of you might go, oh, function rule. Let's talk about this right here. My input, as we know over here, is your independent variable. So we're going to say the input is my independent variable, okay? Now, my dependent variable is the output, because you can't have an output without an input. And then my function rule, it's kind of when I say to you, well, what did you do to X to get to Y? That's your function rule. How do you get from your input to your output? And here, I took a number and I subtracted 3 each time. Okay, so that would be my function rule. And the entire thing circled would be your function table. Okay, so come down here. So here we're going to complete a function table to determine each output. So here we have our input in this column right here. They give us our function rule, and now we have to determine the output. So they're saying a variable x plus a constant 5. Okay. Well, my variable, my x here is going to be 3. We're going to rewrite this plus 5. So I've rewritten my function rule. 3 plus 5 is 8. Excuse me. Then I have 10 plus 5 equals 15. Then I have 12 plus 5 equals 17. Okay. So look at our next one. This time, our function rule is the number 24 minus a variable x. So I input 24 minus 8, I get 16. 24 minus 14, and we get 10. And then 24 minus 17, let's see, minus 10. I'm having a brain fart. I know. You're probably like, you're picking up your calculator. It's 7. Okay, that's it. So, look at the next page. 3 pages. Okay. So just continuing with completing tables. Okay. So we have our input is 4. My function rule is 2x. Remember, when I have a coefficient and a variable tied together with no operation, that means we're going to multiply. So 4, nope. 2 times the number 4. Oop, I did it again. 2 times the number 8. 2 times the number 15. Okay, so we get 8, 16, and 30. All right, so over here, we have 60 divided by x. So 60 divided by 5, 60 divided by 10, 60 divided by 12. Okay, so we're going to do each one of those. So I get 12, I get 6, and I get 5. Now, on your own, if you're not with us, I need you to complete all these you-dos on your own independently, and I will check that with you when you come back. Moving on to the bottom here, now I want you to notice the difference. This time, we don't have our input. All we have is our output, okay? So when we are given an output, we need to perform the inverse operation. So if I'm adding 9 to x, I'm going to subtract 9 from my output, okay? So 10 minus 9 is 1. So then I can come back over here now and put 1 plus 9. So the inverse. So 18 minus 9 is 9. So 9 plus 9. 24 minus 9 is 15. So then I have 15 plus 9. Okay?